Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with this 12 by 12 layout, which is actually a challenge for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club's online crop for June. And the challenge was to use frames. So this is a layout that uses heaps of frames. I am using my Cocoa Vanilla Studio stash. So there's lots of different collections here, but everything that goes onto this layout is Cocoa Vanilla Studio. It's just from a range of collections. And I've got a whole heap of frames that I'm working with. So, sorry in advance if you can hear a lot of noise in the background. My son is here with me. He's sitting in his high chair, playing with toys. He might talk to everyone, mightn't you? He's smiling at me right now. But he likes to throw his toys all over the floor from his high chair, so I have to go and pick them up for him to give them back, or else he cracks it. So apologies if you can hear the noise. He's into chewing everything at the moment. So yes. Now, I just edited out sticking down all those frames, but you saw me lay them down in that diagonal pattern, and I have stuck them all down. And now I'm just going to trim off the excess, and then I do pull out some chipboard frames as well from the chipboard sheets on the left hand side there. Yeah, but I just wanted to trim down the sides so that I knew what I was working with, because sometimes I find if I don't trim off the sides as I kind of overlap them, I get confused about what the final layout will look like. And so I like to sometimes trim the sides quickly so I can see, I guess, the true reflection of what I'm working with. So here I am pulling out some of the frames in the chipboard. And I've got two different chipboard collections there. I think one is Love Always and the other is, it's either More Than Words. Maybe More Than Words. I think it's More Than Words. I'm trying to see on my tiny iPhone screen, but I think it's More Than Words. You can hear him there. He's struggling a bit, trying to get his toys to do what he wants them to do. Oh, and that is drop them on the ground. So here I am. I wanted to go with frames because Cocoa Vanilla Studio has a lot of frames, and so I knew that if I rated my Cocoa Vanilla stash, I would have a lot of frames. When the challenge came up, I thought, I don't have any frames, and then I went, wait, hang on a minute. Cocoa Vanilla Studio always does frames. And I am someone that does struggle to use frames. My sister came over yesterday and was looking at this layout completed on my desk, and she said, oh, that looks great. I never know what to do with frames. I'm going to steal that idea. And I'm like, it's not my idea. I mean, you know, who has original ideas in scrapbooking anymore? I didn't copy anyone to make this layout, but it's certainly not my idea. Many people have done this before, but she was like, oh, she doesn't like using them as kind of mattings around photos, and neither do I really. So this was a nice way to get a lot of frames on the page, and yeah, I just really like how it turned out. So I'm just trimming off the chipboard frames that went over the edge, and I did add a little bit of what I cut off down to the bottom as well. And now I am just thinking about mounting my photos. That's right, I'm thinking, what am I doing now when I'm pulling out all these scraps? I'm going to mount my photos. Sorry, getting distracted. My son is staring at me and smiling because I think he thinks I'm taking a photo because I'm holding the phone up sort of towards him, and that's what I use to take a lot of photos with. And so he's smiling away at me. Aren't you, honey? Yeah. So I am decided to mount my photos on vellum, the spotty gold vellum that's in the background, the specialty paper there. And I think I mounted on that first. Or do I? Yeah. Mount it on the vellum first, and then I do mount it on some cardstock, and I think I use a dark blue. I only made this layout yesterday. You think I'd remember. But alas, I do not. Also, I'm one of those people that often puts my layouts away as soon as I've made them. I know. Who does that? But I do. And so it's already put in my album, and I'm not even looking at it to refer back to it. Often I try to leave it out until I've done my voiceover so that I'm looking at it while I'm voiceovering. But this time around, my sister was coming around. We did some side-by-side scrapping, so keep an eye out for that video coming soon. We actually filmed a couple of side-by-side scrapbooking layouts, which is awesome because we haven't done that in ages. And so I'd put everything away to give her space to fit on my desk because my desk is not the largest. So I'm using this blue to also mat these photos, and that will be the end of my photo matting, and then I will add them to the layout and do some embellishing. So this layout again was super quick to put together. I didn't overcomplicate things though. I tried not to. I did find the embellishing a bit tricky with using the frames because the frames I felt were so busy, I guess. Like there was a lot going on. Oh, what's going on? Did you drop your toy? You can't reach your toy. There you go. He got his toy stuck down his high chair. Yes. So yeah, I found the frames quite busy, and so trying to embellish around them was tricky. But I did some simple embellishment, and I really like how it turned out. So I should have told you about the photos. These are photos of my mum with Link. This would have been only when Link was a few weeks old. We'd just brought him home earlier in the week. And it was the first time Mum had seen him out of hospital, so that was kind of exciting. And I think it was actually... Oh no, my dad did come up to the hospital once. Dad's not a big fan of hospitals, I don't blame him. And so he came to visit once Link was out of surgery and was off the ventilator and was looking much better. Dad came to visit. But then obviously Dad spends heaps of time with him now. But he just finds hospitals very overwhelming and upsetting. And so I was perfectly fine with that. I didn't want anyone to come and see Link who was going to be too upset by it because he was fine. Weren't you? You were fine. You just had to have some surgery. Yeah. Here you go. But yes, because we all knew that he was going to be fine, but at the time he looked quite unwell, as any, 3-year-old baby having surgery looks. Oh, there's your cough. If anyone wondered, that's his little toff cough that he has. Yes, don't you? All right, I might go pick him up and stop him from crying. I'll come back to my voiceover in just a second. Okay, so it's more than a second later. I have come back to this voiceover at the end of the day because, things happen, life happens, and I didn't get around to finishing it off. So it's now about, 8 hours later, and I'm finally getting back around to finishing this voiceover. I've only got the embellishments to go on this layout, and then we're done. So I'm just going through the embellishments. I'd pulled out a few, because as I said, I've got... a whole range of different Cocoa Vanilla collections in the container on my right hand side, and I'm sort of going through and trying to just pull out some things that match. I mean, it all matches, but I didn't want too big embellishments. I didn't want anything with massive amount of words. I did get a couple of little word strips out, and I got a few little labels out and some butterflies. And I think, I'm getting a few more butterflies out. And I've got some hearts out. I don't end up actually using those. But yeah, I'm going through the packs and having a think about what I might want to include. So here, there are some of the word strips I pull out. That's what I'm doing. We've had a great day today, actually. My sister came over, and I said in the earlier voiceover that my sister had been over yesterday, and we'd filmed some side-by-side videos, and then she came over today and we filmed a couple more, so that was fun. Those will be coming up on our channel, which should be good. They were fun to do. We'll have to try and do them a bit more often. I don't know, we talked about doing one with our mum as well, but I don't know how we'd fit 3 layouts across, the one shot. But anyway, that might be a challenge for another day. Plus, I think mum's a pretty slow scrapper, so I don't know how we'd make that work. But anyway, we could see. So I'm just sort of creating a couple of little clusters. I've decided to have the 3 clusters sort of going again in the diagonal. I think I'm doing one down the bottom, one just under the title, and then one in the top left. Yeah, I am. And I'm creating some kind of layers underneath a word strip. I don't know what that word strip says. Sorry. I can't read it on my phone because my phone's too small. And as I said earlier, I've already put this layout away because I am a put-awayer. That's a good word, isn't it? I do put my layouts away almost as soon as I've completed them, as long as I've photographed them, if they're going on YouTube for my thumbnail. Otherwise, they go away into my layout straight away, into my album, straight away. Because otherwise they just pile up and I can't handle it. Plus, I like to visually see, you know, how many more I've got left to catch up. I mean, whoever catches up, but this is me still scrapping February. So I definitely have not caught up yet, although I'm making some good progress. My project life is fine, it's on track, but my 12x12s, I am somewhat behind, but I've done quite a bit of catching up these last few days. So I think I've only got one more layout for Feb and a couple for March, so that's good. So yeah, I'm just creating those 3 clusters. I do add a couple of butterflies, I know that. So I think that one might say, "So lovely." I can read that on my little tiny iPhone screen. And now I'm adding a couple of butterflies to each of the clusters, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I thought so. And then I'm basically done. I don't even know if I splatter on this layout. I probably do, because I do splatters on pretty much every layout. But I don't know if I do on this one. So I think I've got one more butterfly to add. Do I add 2 more? Oh, I do. I add one above the word grandma and then one beside the word fun, and then I add the 5th butterfly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there we go. And I think that's it for my embellishments. I do come back and I think I add some enamel dots. Yeah, so I put the hearts away. I decided I don't need those. I don't need the bow. And then I'm pretty sure I pull out some enamel dots, which are also cocoa vanilla. And I think I add some of those. Just trimming off a couple of the butterfly wings that overlapped. And I'm almost positive I add enamel dots. Let us see. So I'm pulling out some of the ones that have come in various cocoa vanilla collections. I think about adding a flare, but I don't like flare. I find them really difficult to use. So I am adding these enamel dots and I add them in 3 spots. And then I'm pretty sure I'm done. Am I done then, or do I splatter? Let's see. Let us see if I splatter. Ooh, am I going to do it? I'm clearly packing away things like I am going to splatter. I think I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Do I splatter? Do I not splatter? Oh, I'm going to splatter since I went and got it. So this is the gold. And I hopefully grab some things to cover my photos with. My gold doesn't have a lot left in it, so I have to make sure I kind of shake it up quite well to get the colour all through it. Sorry if you can hear the rain, by the way. It's raining quite hard outside at the moment. I think it's just a passing shower, but gee, it's heavy. We get a lot of rain where we live in Melbourne. We're at the bottom of some hills in the Dandenongs and it rains a lot. I didn't know that when I bought here and it wouldn't have changed my mind about buying, but oh boy, it rains a lot. So that's the gold. I think I've ducked off to get a baby wipe because funnily enough, all my baby wipes are now being used by the baby. And I don't have any in my craft room. I need to rectify that, but I buy them in bulk now and they're like a massive container of baby wipes, so there's not really anywhere to store them in my craft room, so I need to get a smaller pack just for the craft room. But inevitably they end up being snaffled for use with the baby. So that is all I've got for you for this layout. I have finished with the navy Heidi Swapp Colour Shine. As you all know, it's my favourite, followed by the gold, but the navy is definitely my favourite. So I've added both of those, and that's it. We are done. I'm just sort of wiping up the Heidi Swapp Colour Shine, or else it goes everywhere. I like to do it a little bit of a tidy. You know, I could probably do it off camera while the camera's not running, but it's such a habit now, as you well know if you watch my videos right to the end, because I do it every time. So we are done. There we go, all finished. Here's the close-ups. Hope you liked the video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.